man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. 100% all natural products from lotions, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much, much more. Use the promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Tell them your boy CJ Goodfella sent you. Get 18% off. We out. All right, man, we back. Let's talk some boxing. We're going to talk some Pacquiao. We're going to talk some Daniel Dubois. But let's start off with George Kambosos and Teofimo Lopez going to purse bid. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And I think purse bid is never good because ain't nobody going to bid a lot of money on that fight. You know, Teo wanted $10 million to go to Australia. And I think, I don't know how, let's say they bid $5 million on the fight, which I think might be pricey. I believe Teo will get 70% of that, and Kambosos will get the other 30% of it. Okay? And my thing about it is, Teo asked for so much money after beating Lomachenko. They act like they sold 1 million pay-per-views, and that just wasn't the case. And I think him being on his high source, I think he should be the A-side over anybody else in the division. You got some people that say it should be Tank because Tank is putting ass in the seats, but then again, I think it should be something to be said about bringing hardware to the table. Teo got every belt from ring, WBC, Super WBA, IBF, WBO. People say, well, you know, Devin Haney signed himself. He signed this all the way to the zone. You know, it is what it is. We know it's more business and politics than anything. And boxing has always been business and politics. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel bad for Devin Haney. I mean, just like they say Bud signed to the wrong side of the street, Devin signed to the wrong side of the street. And I don't look at him as the WBC champion of the world. I look at Teofimo Lopez as that. And some people might be mad, oh, he should rematch Lomachenko. That was Lomachenko team who didn't put a rematch clause in the contract, you know. So he was never obligated to rematch Lomachenko. He could have moved up. And when nobody batted an eye. You know, they didn't shove Loma down their throat for way too long. All right? And that's just the honest truth about it. So, I mean, other than that, I mean, Bob Arum ain't trying to pay nobody. You know, Bob Arum would prefer, you know, somebody else paid Teofimo Lopez, somebody else paid Terrence Crawford, because when fights go on ESPN Plus, they come out his pocket. You know, the networks ain't bidding a lot of money on boxing no more. You know, the prices went up too much for a niche sport. I mean, I don't think it's a niche sport. I think it's one of the most bottom. It's right there with soccer in America. And soccer got I think soccer might have damn near a bigger following than boxing because you got all these international people in America that believe in soccer. So, you know, who want to pay, you know, these fighters $10 million to get Kambosos $2 million, spend $12 million on a fight. Then you put them on ESPN, they're gonna do only 1.5 million viewership. When, you know, you got TV shows like 911 doing 6.5 on the bad week. Boxing just don't drive in the numbers like it used to. And then what happened was, you know, price got too high and the networks, you know, didn't want to pay them. And then they went on premium TV and people lost, you know, after a while, people lost track of fighters. When the last time you seen a fighter in a commercial? Triple G and Apple commercial. They don't do Gatorade commercials no more. They don't do, you know, you got AJ and Canelo with Under Armour. But when the last time I seen the Canelo Under Armour commercial? I'm pretty sure they run AJ commercials. I mean, just sports in the whole is going down. You know, what they going to do after this Venus Arena retire? You know, that's America. The reason men's tennis fell off because you had no more American men competing over there. I mean, NBA doing bad ratings without a crowd, but it's been a bad product ever since the 2000s. You know, football's on the decline, you know, simply because of how they did Kaepernick. And all of it on the decline basically because of, you know, fire sticking and technology and stuff of that nature. But, you know, a lot of these fighters, they ask them more than what they worth. And then Sean Porter asked for $5 million to fight Bud. Sean Porter not worth $5 million. People said, well, Amir Khan had an international following. That's just the fact of it, you know. He had European TV money or UK TV money coming in, and people want to act like that. And people saying, nobody trying to hear that, man. Wilder built his popularity up because he was knocking people out on TV. Simple as that, man. But I thought Kambosos lost to Lee Selby, man. I really did. I thought Lee Selby outboxed him, but then again, we living in a time and where you can outbox somebody, and they just got to be aggressive and look like they landed shots to get the victory. So I felt that should be Lee Selby in there. Do I feel that Lee Selby had any better chance to Kambosos? No.
know it all. Tio is a tank at 135. You know, sharp. You know, I didn't think he looked his best versus Lomachenko, and that had a lot to do with Lomachenko. I thought Loma lost it more than he won it, but that's just my opinion on it, man. But you know, we'll see. Pretty much where his career gonna go. I mean, obviously, you want to go up to 140 and challenge for undisputed. I think he already in the Hall of Fame after the Loma fight, but just by how low the barometer is. But if he go up there and beat Josh Taylor Ramirez, he definitely cemented in the Hall of Fame. You know, 2 division undisputed with ring belts. You know, that'd be special. But talking about Manny Pacquiao put out a tweet, said he basically getting to camp. He going to fight the best and all that other good stuff. So Manny Pacquiao is pretty much on his way back. I heard it's going to be basically Ryan Garcia. I heard he could what they say he can make. They said he can make $35 million. I think Ryan gonna make like 5 or 7, something like that. And he said training camp has begun. I'm ready to get back in the ring and further add to my legacy in the sport of boxing. Big news coming. My whole thing is, I mean, he fought Ryan Garcia. I had no problem with it. I mean, obviously he not holding up the division. You had, you know, he ain't fought in 2 years almost since Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman held the division up for 18 months at one point. You know, a lot of people say why he didn't want to fight Earl. One of the reasons I heard because he wanted to kind of warm up in camp and see where he was at. And he had some words for Earl too. I'm gonna get to him. We can get to that. So, you know, his team has some words for Earl, and you know, he fought Ryan Garcia. No issue with it. No belt. No whatever. You know, a lot of people say he should fight Earl. He should fight Earl. I mean, what can Earl gain? Now, I mean, even before he had a belt, a regular belt, Earl had nothing to gain. You know, but the regular belt, but you can't unify the regular belt. They would have stripped Keith Thurman, but like I said before, I thought Manny would give Earl a run for his money, but I like Earl to win that fight. And his strength and conditioning coach Fortuna, whatever his name is, he's concluding taking on Spence, Justin Forte, whatever his name is. Manny wins. Spence before Spence before the accident will be a different fight, but Spence after the accident, he's a different fighter. If the fight happens, it would be the end of the year. That would be another year off for Spence. He pointed another year off for Spence. He pointed out. He said some other stuff too, man. Manny Pacquiao coach Justin Fortune, whatever you call him, predicts Filipino Senator will stop Ryan Garcia within 6 rounds. They fought this year. He said some other stuff too, man. But he said he didn't look the same after the fight. He said turn attention to Spencer Crawford, Fortuna, whatever his name is adamant that the latter has changed since the near-death car accident. After watching Spence in his last fight, I would say Crawford will win. I thought he was much slower and had footwork. Footwork was terrible. Then he came out in 12 rounds with the black eye. Then he just doesn't tell me you're a puncher. I don't know what that means. I mean, but that's what they say. I mean, I seen an impressive Spence. I seen somebody whose legs look way better than they did for the Manny Pacquiao fight. And who else he fought after that? Not Pacquiao, but the Mikey Garcia fight. And Sean Porter fight, you know, his legs had a little bit more bounce in them. I mean, his legs was a little bit more energized. He looked good to me, you know. Timing was a bit off, but he dominated that fight. You know, his legs looked really good. I thought Spence looked physically in better condition. He got tired down the stretch versus Danny Garcia, but then, you know, that's really due to him making a weight that he can't make no more. If Earl stick around too long at this weight class, somebody gonna get lucky and knock him out. You know. And if he don't get knocked out, he can get beat. Because physically, he don't belong here. He never belonged at 147. It was just a glamour division. You know, where he can get to pick up some steam. He can build his foundation, his portfolio. But a lot of them dudes didn't want to fight him. No, they didn't want to fight him. So basically, he had to stick around longer. But at this point, he might have to make the move to jump up to 160. And I think I prefer him to jump up to 160. Because, I mean, obviously he would miss a division champion. But I think he cemented, you know, he unified 3 belts. I think he in a Hall of Fame based on the criteria that they're going on now. So, I mean, you know, just based off what he did at welterweight, which you don't have to do a lot, Barry McGuinnett in there or Torgatti in there. But I'm thinking he should jump over 150 and go to 60. The competition level a lot lower. I heard Murata might be fighting Triple G for a belt. So I can see him fighting Murata. Obviously, Rob Brand used to be a stable. Maybe they got to get it on. They can get it on. Stephen Butler, Yamaguchi Falcoa, Escave, whatever his name is, Falcoa. So there's some talent, some international talent there. There might be some opportunity for Earl to become an international talent. I mean, obviously Jamal's gonna move up. You got what's the old boy name? Would be a good feet wet fight. Rashidi Ellis, brother. I forget Ronald Ellis. That'd be a good step up fight. I mean, 160. Then maybe Jared Hurd and him could fight at 160. I mean, for a vacant belt. So there's gonna be some belts to be had there. I think it's an easier division for him. I think going to 154. I think it's a few guys that give some problems, even like a Tony Harrison. Obviously Ersan Lara, Austin Trout. That'd be good tune-ups fights. I heard Jamil and Lara could fight too, so I'll talk about that tonight if I go live. So it's just a lot of guys who rangy. I mean, Teixeira, I got some news on Teixeira and Castanos too. Somebody could jump in front of Jamil for the undisputed fight. I mean, it's just a dangerous division. Erickson Lubin, you got a lot. They ain't got shit to lose there. Julian Williams. I mean, you got Joshua Conley who's still swimming there. Willie Nelson just moved up to middleweight. So you got a lot of them dudes is good there. So I mean, I think that's a dangerous division for him because a lot of dudes ain't got nothing to lose. Him moving up to 54, he might feel filler. But if you compress your weight, for 8-10 weeks, whatever you're training for, and then this is go for anybody, and then you don't have to make weight no more, you're gonna blow up. So he blowing up bigger than he had to. Mikey Garcia walking around at 170 something pounds. So he gonna blow up. So I think 160 is the way for him. Now if he go to 54 and get a title, that's a good fight. People don't know Brian Castanos beat him in the amateurs. So if Jared Hurd get his name on the hands on the title, or Castanos can have a title and he can get him, I mean that'd be a good fight. But yeah, man, that is what it is. Manny Pacquiao is probably gonna fight Ryan Garcia, and I expect that fight to be short, swift, and be quick, man. I don't think it takes 6 rounds. I think it's gonna be easier. But I heard Pacquiao want to see how he come back, and then Mikey Garcia didn't generate the money, or he lost his mother. So it always just go out to the Garcia family, him and Robert. I'm thinking he could fight Spence. I heard he wanted to warm up, see where he was at in training camp. I guess when he warmed up, it didn't go that well. So I'm thinking he gonna take a tune-up fight, see how he feel. He might come back and fight Spence. He might come back and fight Thurman. He might come back and fight Ugas, or Ugas and Thurman might get it popping. So who knows what he gonna feel. At his best, I think he beat everybody in the division. I think his toughest test would probably be Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. I think Crawford would be a little bit tougher because he a little bit rangier. I think he would drain both of them anyway. So I think him draining Crawford won't be no issue for Crawford. I think Errol Spence at his best and his fullest and be able to rehydrate to what he want to hurt. I think he get Pacquiao. But at Pacquiao best, I don't think Earl right now ready for. I think Crawford got a little bit more seasoning. That'd be a fight that can go either way. But yeah, let's keep it going. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think Pacquiao gonna fight Ryan Garcia. Heard the money for him was around $35 million. Ryan around $5 or $7 million. So, Eddie Ronaldo came out yesterday and said he didn't like the fight for him. But I heard behind the scenes, at one point he was willing to let the fight happen at 147. But maybe it don't happen. Maybe you come back and fight Ugas. Maybe you come back and fight Thurman for Earl next. But I heard Ryan was the move, man. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Well, let's keep going. Danny Dubois. Somebody was in the chat saying Dubois, I was so bad he might retire. But Dubois switched trainers. And with him switching trainers, I don't know much about his trainers, but he should have pulled the Lennox Lewis move and got him an American trainer. I think he got some UK trainers, and the same thing gonna happen. Mark Tibbs is a coach, so he same thing gonna happen. He keep the UK trainer. Only trainer in the UK that I think is that'd be worthy of fighting him would be worthy of training him would be Shane McGuigan, Barry McGuigan's son. So he said he coming back. He got the right attitude. He was on the bike, keeping his weight down. You don't really see him blow up none, but he couldn't stop the jab. He didn't know how to slip the jab. And I think a guy like Emmanuel Stewart would have benefited him a lot. I think a guy like Sugar Hill would benefit him a lot, especially being in train with Kent with Tyson Fury and being promotional buddies with Tyson Fury. George Foreman can help him. That's a lot of guys that can help him, but he had a broken orbital bone and nerve damage around his eye, and shit happens. Muhammad Ali fought with a broken jaw. You got a lot of guys that fought with. New York fought with a broken orbital bone. He just didn't know how to get rid of the jab. You can jab the jabber. You can slip, step over, come over the top, close the distance, take the jab away. He just didn't know what to do, and I don't know who Mark Tibbs is, but you know, he should got an American trainer. But at the same time, I think for him, just knowing how to slip and move his head. You know, he was winning that fight a little bit, and then Joy's jab took over. But I mean, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, response, video request. All my social media links in the description. Password to reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. We also got a Facebook group in there. All links in the description. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. That's the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best of donate. Share the video. Let me know what you think. Comment section. We go.